Yo, what's happening, everybody? I'm Steve from GraphicDesignerTips.com. This is Logo Design Bootcamp episode number 26, and it is the final episode of our entire series from A to Z, meaning obviously that today's episode is based on the letter Z. Now, it's been a really fun ride, and I have another series, a couple ideas for series coming out, but obviously one at a time, along with the other couple that I have out already. But I just want to say thank you for everybody who's been tuning into this series, and my whole goal is that everybody's learning all the little things that I've learned along the way. That has helped me out. All right, so today's logo is based on the letter Z. Now, I get comments every week from viewers like you on inspiration for the future videos, and I always take that into consideration. But when it comes to the letter Z, I needed all the inspiration I can get. I mean, there's not many words that come to mind when you think of the letter Z. So many of my viewers asked me to do a logo based on a zoo theme, which is cool. I was actually thinking of it myself, and I had to find something I like. Because, I mean, I like the zoo, but I wanted to make it fun for the series, and I realized I love zombies. I mean, I didn't just realize I love zombies. I've always loved zombies. I am a zombie half the time because I don't get any sleep anymore. I never did get sleep because I'm always doing something. But I love The Walking Dead. I love anything that has to do with zombies. So the logo I have designed for you today is called Zombie Zoo. All right, check it out. You can make a logo out of anything that you have in your head. So Zombie Zoo is it's a pretty cool logo. Let me critique this real quick, and then I'll wrap up at the end. The Zombie Zoo logo was a fun logo to put together. I really didn't sketch much at all with this. I just kind of had the idea, wanted to mess around with the type, and kind of evolved it from there. I had the idea in my head. So yes, I did not sketch this one out at all. But it's based on two different types of, it's two different categories of logo, really. The Zombie Zoo is a logo type, which means that if I took everything else out, if I took, the background and everything that's in gray out right now and all the images and the silhouettes in the background, that Zombie Zoo would still be a catchy type of a look and feel that I could really put that on anything and it would still represent whatever it was representing. The next part of it was the fact that it's a pictorial logo because it shows some figurine type of or silhouettes of zombie characters, and also this guy in the middle, I could use this figure as a standalone object or a symbol to represent that in any way. So I had a lot of fun with this logo. It did take me a while, even though, like I said, I didn't sketch it out, but I worked on all different types of, should I have the fence in there? I had like a little fence in there for, like a zoo fence type of a thing, kind of holding them back, and it ain't holding them back because they're coming over the fence. But let's jump into Adobe Illustrator Cs6 and I'll show you how to build this. Now we're in Adobe Illustrator Cs6, and you want to prepare yourself real quick. So on the top, I have put the name of the font that I downloaded for free. It's a free commercial font, I think from fontsquirrel.com. Check that out so you have it ready. Install it because it is a little bit of a funky font and it helped me get that edge effect on it, which I really like. The bottom right over here, we got these zombies. Now, what you have to do is you have to go to Google, search engine, Bing, whatever, and type in free vector zombies. And you're going to come up with so many of these that you can just plop and download and pull them right into Adobe Illustrator so you can use them for your layout. Now, what's cool about these zombies is the fact that you can move their head. So, like, I could take this head right here and I can put it over here and, well, actually kind of looks like Frankenstein. So it's pretty cool the way that the artist did that because they knew people were going to take it and want to move the heads around. And I think you can move maybe, nope, just the heads. All right, so download some of your own zombies and see what you can come up with. But the first part I want to get out of the way is this boring little fence in the background. So what we want to do is come up to the rectangle tool, and we're going to make one rectangle all the way over here. I'm just kind of mirroring my logo that I did, and you want to fill it with a gradient that's not totally black, but like a dark black, maybe 88% to maybe a 12% of black. So it's pretty light, the grays. So if I lay it over that, you're going to see what's going to happen. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go to Option, click, shift this all the way over to the end, and so we're making the first object and we're making the end object. Now, I'm going to teach you something called the blend tool, which I used in one of our other logo design bootcamp videos, maybe two, but definitely one. You want to come over to here, the blend tool or W on the keyboard, and you want to double click the tool, and it's going to ask you for some options. You want to make sure you're on specified steps. Now you can actually obviously experiment with this, but in this you want to do specified steps and do 30, and make sure the orientation can be like that. That's fine, and click OK. And now what you're going to do, well, nothing happened, but what you're going to do now is you're going to click. You're going to see this little box as your icon now, that your cursor. You're going to click here. You're going to see an X come up, 1, and then you're going to click at the destination, and it's going to say have a plus sign on it. And then all of a sudden, it's going to make 30 instances of this, which is pretty cool. Now, we want to select this and come up to the object and expand, because that is going to, now hit OK, and that is going to make it actual shapes that if I really wanted to, I can now mess around with. Before that, it wasn't. It was just in effect that wasn't yet finalized. If you want to go to print with something like this type of a logo, you want to make sure you expand all types of effects like that. Now for the top, we're just going to make another rectangle, and we're going to place that right on top like so. We're going to do that same gradient in it, and hit G on the keyboard to get back to the gradient. My mouse is sticking. All right, I think I just turned my magic mouse off. Let's see. Oh, connection lost. Yes, I did. All right. Yeah, that is a magic mouse. All right. All right, so I'm just going to change that gradient a little bit. I didn't like it. It was too dark. All right, it's good enough. So I'm going to move this right on top, and I'm going to select this entire thing, and I'm going to go Command G or Group. You can also come up to Object and go to right there, Command G. It shows you right there. So I'm going to put this over to the side, and we're going to come back to this later. What you're going to do next is you're going to type out the word Zombie Zoo. Only the Z's should be capitalized, Z-O-O, and hit Escape to end the selection. And go to Shift Command O or type Create Outlines, which is the same thing. And you're now going to, while having that selected, you're going to right click and hit Ungroup. And you're going to select the whole thing again, and you're going to right click and hit Release Compound Path. Now that's just going to release everything that is has made the selection, you know, all these little specks and all that. So I'm going to one by one and move a letter down. It's going to be kind of hard because every once in a while you might grab one of these little things. So while holding Shift, there's actually two parts. There's the middle part, and we're going to subtract that from the front in a second. And we're going to do that for every single letter. B, here's the middle of the B. 1. You know, I'm not even going to do the end one because I can always copy the other ones over. Now, let's see. All right, so I'm going to select this O right here, and I'm going to go to the Pathfinder and go to minus front. And now I'm going to go to Option, click, and I'm going to shift it over once while still holding Option down. Click it again and shift it over. So we got the word zoo now. We're going to select the B on here, and we're going to minus the front, and the same thing with the E. So we're basically cutting it out of the letters. Now, if I take this whole selection, and it's not letting me do it right here. I'd love to do this in the appearance palette, but because they're compound paths and these are regular paths, it's going to give me an issue. When everybody always asks in the comments, why don't I do certain things with the appearance palette? Why do I copy and paste things behind? So that's why I do that. Sometimes there's errors and there's workarounds, but they take too much time, especially to show you this in this tutorial. But the reason I also do that is because, say I want to take the ZOM and I want to move it down, I can make it kind of that the shadow, or it's a big shadow that's above it now, or in a way it kind of makes it pop a little bit more. You're going to make a gradient that is a fill from green, dark green to light green, and the stroke the same exact fill. And if I click off of here, you're going to notice this is what it looks like right now. I'm going to reselect it, and while you have your stroke in front, you have to click it. You see the fills in front, now the stroke's in front. You have to come over here into the gradient, and you want to make sure that you're applying the gradient across a stroke. And watch what's going to happen. Now it looks like mine up here. It looks like that kind of neonish type of look on the outside. All right, let's turn that off. The zombie zoo. Now we're going to go to Command C and Command B, or Object, excuse me, Edit, Paste in back. It's pasting it right in back of itself. You can't see it. Don't click off yet. And we're going to put that in black, and you're not going to see it until you increase your stroke. So let's increase our stroke a little bit. Go up to 1 point. And make sure our corner caps are rounded. And that looks pretty similar to what I have. Ah, that's some good coffee. All right, so Zombie Zoo. Now, the fact that I don't have anything grouped, it's pretty cool because I can kind of manipulate these letters and move them around how I want. But what I'm going to do to be safe is I'm going to select the both layers, basically the top and the bottom, and we're going to go to Command G on each letter. So we're grouping each letter by itself. I don't want to group the whole entire word because I want to manipulate individual letters later on. Now, what I'm going to do is what I did in actually, if you look at what I did was I took this entire thing and I stretched it up a little bit, which I'm not a fan of stretching tight, but this is for a fun tutorial. So that's way too much. All right, cool. And I'm going to now mess around with a couple of letters. I'm going to take the Z and I'm going to move it over a little bit. I'm going to go to Object, Arrange, Bring to Front. Make sure it's over the O. I'm going to stretch it up a little bit like I did in the final logo. This Z is fine. The B, I'm going to rotate it a little bit. And now I'm going to make sure it's down here a little bit, and I'm going to stretch it up. Okay, let's scale that down just a little bit. And I'm going to take the O. I'm going to rotate it and move it down here a little bit. And I'm going to make sure Object, Arrange, Bring to Front. Now, here was my so-called dilemma. Well, not dilemma, but it's what you'll learn over time. As I did this logo and I got near the end, I said, wow, you know, it would be really cool if I replaced that eye with this little figure right here. So that's what I did. I moved everything over. I'm moving everything over right now, and I'll come back. And I took this little figure right here, which is this guy. I'm going to actually make it this guy right here. And I did the same thing. I did the eyedropper to make the first gradient. I changed the stroke to in the gradient area to apply along a gradient, along a stroke. And, well, actually, what you want to do, technically, is you want to select this guy, and you want to come into your Pathfinder, hit Unite, because that's going to make that neck line not come up like that and all funky. And you want to now go to Command C, Command B, and make it a black stroke just like before. Make it 1 point. And we're going to take that eye, and we're going to say goodbye. We're going to move this guy right up here. We'll give him some eyes later on. So Zombie, move that E down a little bit. So we got the Zombie Zoo right there. I know I've said that like 100 times, but it's late. Anyway, the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to make a box behind everything. Well, that sounds kind of weird, but I'm going to make a box, and I'm going to fill it with this brown type of a color. I'm going to go to Object, Arrange, Send to Back. So I have a box behind it. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to, let's see, what did I do here? You could take a, let's use that same box. And we're going to come up into the brushes. And let's see what I used here. You'll come up down here and go to Open Brush Library and go to Artistic Brushes and Charcoal Pencil Brushes. And we're going to come up in here and find, whoa, that's a really crazy one. Okay. All right. We're going to mess around with this a little bit. Actually, I kind of like that. A little bit different than what I have below. But I'm trying to figure out what I had below. Let's see what I had. Oh, I expanded it. So, well, what I did here What I actually did on mine is I made little rectangles for the top and the bottom. So technically this big black rectangle, it was this before. All right, let me go back a second. Get this right back there. Okay, so I'm going to paste that, what I just did, and I'm going to put that underneath everything so I kind of have that texture. I can move it around as I please later on. And I'm going to take this fill color that's up here, this brown. I'm going to put it into my swatches because I need to continue to reuse it. And I'm going to change my stroke to that color. And I'm going to go to Object, Arrange, Send to Back. And I'm going to go click this, and I'm going to hit Object, Expand Appearance. So it turns into a bunch of shapes. And I'm going to copy it right up here so it's above it also. And I am now going to, should I do the fence now? Yeah, let's do this fence now. I'm going to take this fence, I'm going to put it in place, and right now I'm going to make it as high as my other one was about, and I'm going to put the fence about right here, and it's not behind everything. So what I want to do is I want to take the fence and go to Object, Arrange, Send to Back. But when I do that, look what happens. Everything else disappears. So I don't want to accidentally select the fence again. So I'm going to go to Object while it's still selected. Go to Object, Lock Selection. And I'm going to now take this element, and then that other brown box. I'm going to move them away for a second so you can see. We got 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to back up again. And I'm going to go to Object, Arrange, Send to Back. Now, after a while, you just got to figure out how your layout is put together. And then, you'll understand how to do this stuff better. But now that I'm building this for you, I now realize why I did these little shapes down here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to Option, click, Shift, and I'm going to shift this down. And I'm going to go to Object, Arrange, Bring to Front, because now I want it to be at the front, because I want it to be on top of some of the letters like I did here. I'm going to thin this out a little bit because I want this to have a little bit of an effect, but right now it's not really giving me any rough edges. So what I should have done is used a different brush, but as long as you understand how I'm doing this, it's all experimentation. So I'm going to flip this around a little bit. Let's see what I can do here. Okay, not terrible. So basically, what I want to do is I want to go to Object, Unlock All. I want to unlock that. I'm going to come to my Z. I'm going to bring that to the front. Object, Bring to Front. I'm going to take my B, but remember there's two elements. Oh no, we grouped them before. Never mind. Object, Arrange, Bring to Front, and then the same thing with the O over here. Object, Arrange, Bring to Front. Now, the next thing that I did was I basically, and this is actually pretty cool, if you see how it gets a little darker in here, what I did simply was I did, I'm going to Command C, copy this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this brown and I'm going to add some black into it. So I'm going to make it nice and dark. And I'm going to go to Command F. I'm going to paste that other piece right back up top, but I'm going to nudge it down just a little bit. You're going to see that dark area comes out right behind it, which is pretty cool. It's just really hiding it. That's it. So, again, I'm going to bring that Z to the front. I'm going to bring this man to the front, and certain things that I don't want to be in the back. Okay, even actually the letter B too. All right. So, what I did to cover these up, because it looks like they're kind of plopped in the dirt and they're kind of coming out but at different points, is I literally just took these two little selections right here, and I'll take the ones that I did on my final logo just to show you. Let's do that real quick. Let's do 1, 2, and basically I went to Command C just to copy, and I'll bring it back there, and I'm going to go to paste it down here. And all I'm going to do is shrink it just a little bit and kind of stretch it out and throw it on top of each element. All right, so you got one right there. Now, I don't like that. I'm going to back up, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to hit the A on the keyboard, and I'm going to take half of this away so the effect doesn't mess up as I scale it down. So we're going to go over the B. It's going to get hidden behind there. Looks like it's in the dirt. And we're going to put it over the Z. We could even do the guy's legs here. Let's see. And hold Option while you're doing this because it's going to copy it. And then over the letter O. The first O. Zombie Zoo. Alright. So, trust me, there's a lot of refining that goes into this stuff at the end. But this is just so you understand the concept. The last thing we're going to do is we're going to start adding these figures in the background. Now, what I did was I made these little eyes on them, which is very simple, by coming to the pen tool and clicking. I'm going to make these really large at first. And then 1, 2, and 3. And just with the A on the keyboard, on the selection, you're going to manipulate the anchors and kind of make these eyes and fill them with white. I want to go 1. Fill them with black for now so you can see where they are. Go to Option Shift Click, and we're going to reflect them using the Reflect tool, or O on the keyboard, and we're going to flip it right around. And I'm going to select both of these. I'm going to go to Command G, and now I can put these. I could definitely put them over this guy right here. And since his head is a little bit up in the air, we're going to kind of do that same angle, fill them with white. He looks like he's wearing shades or something. We're going to take the same eyes. We're going to put it on this creepy looking dude and this guy right here. That did not work. Why? Option Shift Click. There we go. And now that we have our two guys right here, we're going to basically bring them in here and make sure they're filled with that same brown color. We're going to go to Object Arrange, Send to Back, and say we're going to do 1. We're going to copy this one over, and while it's selected, we're going to reflect it. So you do that by clicking, dragging, and then letting go. And we'll do him one more time in that same pose over here. Maybe make him a little smaller. Looks like he's further back. This guy is going to be... We're going to put him in the back here. Object Arrange, Send to Back. We're going to copy him. In this case, we're going to select 1, 2 with the direct selection, or A on the keyboard, and then hit E to flip his head around so he looks like a different person. All right, so he looks a little bit different. And same deal. I'm going to copy him over here. We're going to make them small so it looks like they're further behind. And that zombie looks funky. It kind of looks like a spaceman. But let's see, am I missing anything in this? No, that is the basics on how I did the Zombie Zoo logo. Obviously, there's more time spent on this, but if you guys want to do your own Zombie Zoo logo and then send it to me, a little rendition, I would love to see it. All right, so if you're still with us after this 20-something minute video, I definitely appreciate it. That means you really wanted to learn, and if you just grabbing onto this series, jump into our other 25 videos. You're going to learn a heck of a whole lot about tools in Illustrator that are going to help you just design logos better and understanding them. Because, yeah, I do talk a lot, but I explain everything I'm doing. And that's why I feel that I'm a good teacher when it comes to this type of stuff. So, and I care. I want everybody to learn. So, here's a couple other videos from our series. You can definitely find us on YouTube to see the rest of them. Hit subscribe. This little button right here. Click it to subscribe to our channel. And I'll see you for the next installment of whatever series I come out with, whether it ties into this or it's something completely different. But it's going to be something phenomenal where you're going to continue to learn and get to that next level. All right, everybody, have a good night. Peace.